It is 6 p.m. on Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. We're going to open the regular board meeting. Roll call, please.
Trustees Jen.
Here.
William.
Here.
Nathan.
Here.
Chris.
Here.
John.
Here.
Patrick.
Here.
President Rick.
Here.
Treasurer Brenda. Clerk Lisa, I'm here. Deputy Clerk Erica. Here. Public Works Supervisor Fergie.
Here.
Parks Supervisor Brody.
Here.
Attorney Mark.
Yes, I know, yes.
That didn't take twice. Here.
You're charging by the hour.
All right. Would you please rise and pledge allegiance?
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty.
All right. We've got motions.
I will make a motion to approve the May 13th, 2026 minutes.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to approve the May 13th, 2026 minutes. John seconds. I'm assuming those are regular board minutes. Any discussion on those minutes? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Passes at 6:02.
Motion to pay bills payable in the amount of $97,836.11. Second.
John makes a motion to approve the bills payable in the amount of $97,836.11. Nathan seconds that. Any discussion on the bills payable? Roll call, please.
Chris.
Yeah.
Jen.
Yes.
William.
Yes.
Nathan.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
That passes also at 6:02.
I make a motion to approve the outside meeting, total at $100.
Second.
Do we have to approve this outside anything?
Yeah, any payment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jen makes a motion to approve the outside meeting pay of $100. John seconds. Any discussion on the meeting pay? Also, we roll call.
Patrick. Chris.
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
William.
Yes.
Nathan.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Unanimous at 6:03.
Motion to approve related resolution 26-34, ratifying a master power supply agreement by and between MC Squared Energy Services LLC and the Village of Davis Junction for residential and qualified small business aggregation program. Second.
John makes a motion to approve resolution number 26-34. Nathan, who seconded? Nathan seconded. Any discussion on that?
So everybody knows they can opt out if they want. I don't know.
Like every-
Village.
I don't know what our viewership is.
Sorry.
2, 4, 5.
Residents,
So
housing.
we've got like 45, 50 for a while. Yeah,
No, I get it. They send you a letter so you can.
yes.
This doesn't bind them into whatever,
No,
whether or not.
Just an
you
option.
take advantage of a better price than someone else.
all right, roll call, please.
John. Patrick.
Yes.
Chris.
Yeah.
Jen.
Yes.
William.
Yes.
Nathan.
Yes.
It's unanimous at 6:04. All right, there's nothing under new business left, so we'll go underneath me, and we have utility bill drawing. If you can have them. Oh, look at this. We got fancy.
We brought back up the spinning.
All right, Mark. There you go.
Okay.
Wait, you got Schwank. He's used to this. He goes just down at 3L.
The resident at the address of 534 Autumn Wolf Drive, trying to enjoy like discounted service, no free service,
$25 off.
$25.
That
Sorry, I took a good thing and made it sound a little worse. You correct.
At least you didn't say ice cream. Is that 534?
Right.
Yes, fine.
All right. On to Lisa.
For the FOIA report, any questions? Then that's all I have for the FOIA.
Brenda?
I'll just say the May treasurer's report. If anybody has any questions, otherwise that's all. Oh, no, the auditors were here today. And they asked for a lot of stuff. I got it to them. And they're not coming back tomorrow, so that's a good thing.
Are we getting close to where we'll be switching auditors again?
Should, but we still got a couple years.
We,
Do we ever want to explore looking for more improving or expanding our transparency in our audit? Meet the Government Finance Officers Award for annual comprehensive financial reporting.
that's a mouthful.
That wasn't all. What is
that do for
The
us?
annual comprehensive financial report is a much more in-depth audit that they would do. It's a little more expensive, but you get you can pursue the top award for government transparency. It's a much more in-depth audit with a little more information that can be a little bit more easy to read.
Is the state doing it? That'd be a miracle.
No,
No,
it's our auditors.
Yeah, City of Brookshire. They do that.
Why it's been-
No, I'm just saying, is the state going to their own recommendation? And having that kind of audit done on the state?
Just asking from our own.
Well, you said it was the governor.
Just being more transparent.
I'm all for that.
Depends on how much it costs, I suppose. That'd be the first thing. And second thing, do they do it for a cash basis?
You don't have very cash basis.
Yeah.
Never mind, you can't do it then.
Never mind. Yeah.
Problem solved.
No.
You should be going to a accrual basis.
You think?
Yes. Never mind, carry on.
Let's, as the finance people, discuss the whole cash and accrual process, and we'll go the other way. That's all you have, Brenda?
That's all.
Mark kindly?
I don't have any report this evening.
All together, one word? All right. Brody?
Just so everybody knows, we're pretty much at the end of our Osgood Park project that's been going on for the last year. Contractors are doing a couple touch-up things out there. That's about it. Park's looking good in the spots that they did. Everything's checking out. So as far as right now, money well spent, and people seem to love the new additions. So splash pads look full almost every day.
So that major fix they were gonna make, that's all I've done.
Major fix.
The floor.
On the bathrooms.
To make sure that.
Oh, for the bathrooms, yes, that's all been.
It looks good.
Yeah, no, looks good.
Yeah.
Drain's good.
There's gonna be water in there, so that's-
No.
I mean, anyone but the doctor.
Out there.
Did it rain hard here?
Yeah.
This is the mansion about 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, yeah, it looks good. They did the epoxy on the floors. That looks good as well. Those bathrooms have since been open. Got a bunch of calls the week or two before we opened them on when they were gonna be open, so they should see some pretty good use over there. And if you have anything else, on top of that, just kind of closing that out and getting into the full swing of summer. Got all the guys back for the year, so we'll, be getting a hard match from us. That's all I got.
All right. Brett?
Pretty much saying we're back to doing some locating again, so like a refresh on app, so busy there. Right, did we want to mention anything about the employee deal, or do we want to just leave that alone?
That's fine, go ahead.
I have something, okay. We've got a new full-time employee, our previous full-time employee, Jeff, he's left the village, good terms, everything's good to go with it. But we brought, Jackson, who's our seasonal the last, year now, Brendan? Pretty close to a year. So we brought him on, as full-time, and we will be looking for a new seasonal employee to help us out this season, so. Or, for public works is 18.
Out loud.
So that's all, I'm sorry, that's all.
All right. Moving on to Jen.
We have an agreement for our July 3rd event. So I would like to make a motion for approval of resolution 2631, a resolution ratifying execution of a live performance agreement with Extreme Cover Band LLC at the July 4th, 2026 event.
Jen makes a motion to approve resolution number 26-31. Nathan seconds. No discussion on the ban. It's much roll call.
Nathan,
Yes.
John,
Yeah.
Patrick,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
William,
Yes.
Unanimous at 6:11.
With 3,500, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Floor's still yours.
We got another donation from Stillman Bank. We are up to like $23,500 in sponsorship donations.
Very nice. Great work.
So we had a meeting prior to this, and we are pretty much set for everything. Just a few loose ends we're tying up. So we will, by next meeting, we should be good to go. And Brody did the interview with Charles at Coyote, so we'll be out there.
All right. William?
Nothing.
Nathan?
Oh. Watch it.
Chris? So you do that
We're
once.
gonna discuss Route 72 crosswalks, things in the board recommendation letter from you was following. Because only one person did money. The 39.9? I don't remember exactly how it was. Whatever, it was under what they had, what they had.
That's what I do.
estimated. So pretty popular, 17, I don't know.
That's pretty good though, or them there, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
nice.
So,
Yeah, we had one.
Well, I like that. What was the name of the company? Was this?
And they said they'll look and call some of their references.
Yeah.
Make sure, because they've never done business with them before. And recommended that we accept it. Anybody opposed?
not opposed.
So Bale's in the
So Lisa, do you want to tell them to proceed, or you want me to issuing the contract?
you could tell them to, yeah.
All right.
Anything further, Chris?
The only other thing is that the meeting we should have coming up for the contract for the, Microsoft. Right, yes, that would come out. Other than that, I don't, there actually is one thing. I got a call from somebody, a gentleman that he lives on Union, but he owns the property on Pacific. He's got some pretty steep ditches comparatively speaking. And, he's getting older and he can't ride the tractor through the ditches. Or we could help him or not, but I told him we can't mow the ditches. That would open us up. Everybody wants us. Yeah. Hopefully they come in like this.
He owns the house.
No, it's not a house. It's
Never mind.
it's on the other side. It's a shed. I don't know. It's a building.
It's the building that the.
I think he lives on Union.
That's what I'm afraid of calling now.
I don't think it's a farm.
No, it's
No.
East Pacific.
No, I see. It's the property just past the lift station. And they're like got a culvert part of it. He actually asked about putting a culvert, which he wouldn't let anybody else do it either. He also wanted out. Right, that's right, because
No.
he asked about putting in concrete or gravel. You're not really allowed yourself. I told him we look to see what we could do. Because part of it's washing out part of the road that I take care of. But other than that, there's not much. I just thought I could do what's called Casey. Proposed. Talking to the board. Personally, it would be expensive to track what kind of creek or gravel down. I don't know how much it really helped. Which is, it would be much cheaper to hire somebody. I mean, well, no, it shouldn't even need the mulch, it just need trim. 33 square foot, 5 by 30, that's what I mean, that's gotta be a lot cheaper than wanting to put down a gravel block. Concrete runway like for but I figured I'll let you guys know what you have to see. I'll invite him to come talk to the board if he wants to do that. I think that we can find something to change the contour of the ditches to the drainage. I feel bad one because clearly that is a physical difference to do that. I'll get all myself.
Yeah, I said a lot of people probably tripping and they're just going.
Yeah, one big barn is the steepest. It's pretty, it's like 5 feet. Maybe that's 10, 15 feet across. It's pretty steep. But still, probably not. How long you been that way for the last 20 years? When maybe things change. Other than that,
All right, Patrick.
2632, approving clear injections for factory seeding cattle.
Patrick makes a motion to approve resolution number 26-32. John seconds. Needs discussion on that. It's rejecting and not money. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes at 617.
I made a motion to approve resolution 2633, waiving competitive bidding for slug removal.
Sorry.
Patrick makes a motion to approve resolution number 26-33. John seconds. Any discussion on that motion?
Okay, so let me see if I can figure out how to get through this. I was gonna try to get Rose down here to explain it probably a little better than I can, but the schedule did not work out. So obviously, I'm assuming everyone's familiar, we have fall sludge every year. This is the first time we've talked about this. So the reason it's kind of on here for competitive bidding, waiving and all that, we basically sent, you should all, it didn't make the packet, that was my fault. You should all have what the RFP was that Jason Rose created, for this. Because we had a few pickups last year doing it, with some paper trail and stuff like that. So Jason, spent some time and created this pretty outstanding RFP, for this project. We sent this to 4 contractors, basically the contractors that in this area that do this work. Senator Stewart, Benish, and Watson as well. So that's literally the companies that would have been bidding this if we went through bidding. Synagro, backed out right away. Probably, I'm just assuming because we're kind of small, this is like not a big job for these big players. Stewart and Synagro this is what they do for a living. They're big companies. The difference here is 3 of these companies, Benish, Stewart, and Synagro, you get rid of Synagro because they're not in it. So Stewart and Benish are land applied. Watson is basically trucking it to Rochelle, to the plant. So they would not be land. And the reason that I didn't just basically throw on, as you can tell if you look at the prices, the Benish quote is substantially cheaper. That's in your bid. That's in your packet. I didn't print that because that was in there, so. Oh, yeah, there is, sorry. So the reason I didn't do that, so we could have just a hopefully a short-ish discussion, was Stewart sent their packet If you see in the RFP, if you read the RFP, you get it there. We were asking for a lot of reporting. We were asking for documentation. We were asking for a little bit of everything. So that was officially on file. We didn't have that last year. Benish did it all last year, I believe. It was Benish did all for us last year. So basically, Stewart sent their packet, includes everything, because this is literally what they do for a living. So they're used to this. They basically have a packet and they just send it out. Watson's a little bit different. Their paperwork didn't need to be as, I guess, in depth because they're not land applying. So there's no soil sampling. There's no reporting certain things. They're literally just hauling it to Rochelle.
And
If we went there. Pardon?
and doing what with
Their wastewater plant.
Wastewater plant.
We're literally taking from ours to theirs. And they're getting rid of it. It's very common with the bigger plants. Rockford does it. Very common.
Apparently they can deal with it themselves.
They're a larger place, so they can handle what little bit that we have. So we used to do it with Rockford too, back in the day. So there's not as much reporting and paperwork involved with that because it's literally trucking it. We would get manifests and things like that. We would request manifests and things like that. The obvious quote with Benish here, we didn't get any more than what you see here. And this RFP went to everybody. All of this was stated. It went to them. Plus, Jason reached out again to confirm a few things and asked about getting the rest of the stuff that was asked in the RFP. We didn't get it the second time either. I had a conversation with one of the owners the other day. I had questions about some IEMA to confirm whether they were allowed to haul radium sludge. Because we were finding out, we were waiting, that's another reason why I didn't make the package. We were waiting to find out if there is any type of licensing or permitting or whatever that they're to basically haul radium sludge, because we have low level radium. So nothing that's bad, just part of it, and IEMA monitors that. I asked him then, he's like, nope, everything that I got everything that Jason knows that he needed, we're good to go. So, with all that being said, that obviously is the money saver right there. We did not get all of the paperwork. I'm not saying that is the end of the world. I'm not saying that if we did this, that, skies are going to fall in on us. I'm just saying, mainly asking what you guys would like to do. You'd like to.
Who's responsible for filing the paperwork?
It's a combination of
Well,
things.
he's got a state license there, right?
But we don't know what that state license is. We were trying to research that as well to see exactly what that was.
You can't call. Email the state. Ask them.
Well, here's the thing though. I mean, are we supposed to be doing all this, or is that supposed to be supplied to this, what the RFP says?
What have you done in years past?
Well, years past, the companies that have done this for us have had all of this. They were big players in this.
Oh, I got
Stewart has this, Dom had this, Synagro had this. We used Benish last year. The big players have all this stuff because it's literally what they do for a
So
living.
Benish had it last year, but they're not giving it to us this year?
Well, no, we didn't get all, that's why we're doing the RFP this year, is so we had more documentation, we had soil sampling, we have the things that we need and want to see. So,
Do we have repercussions from that?
yes, but it's one of those where you could look at it where maybe it was us, maybe it was them. I believe, don't quote me on this because I believe it is accurate. We received a soft violation for soil sample. Jason and I ended up going out and taking the soil samples afterward. I talked with Bose about this, and I asked him if this is our responsibility, do we just do this? And he says in the 20 years that he has been doing this and dealing with land application, he has never once taken a soil sample until we did it here. Take that for what it is. Like I said, I don't know, but we did receive basically a soft violation. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of these quotes here. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Benish or anything like that. It's more, do we want to have more documentation? Do we want to err on the side of caution? Do we want to just go ahead? They did a great job for us last year, phenomenal group. but we didn't get everything that we requested.
Is it
So, and I'm not faulting, I'm not blaming.
to save $30,000, would it be worth us doing our own soil?
Well, it's not just the soil sampling. I mean, that's not the point. Read the RFP and look at Stewart's, you'll see the difference.
I have,
So, yes, I mean, we can do soil sampling. We did it. It's not, you know, I mean, that's one example.
Well, depends on where are they gonna land it like?
It'll be up, probably the same area, up of, is that up? It's just up northwest. It's where the land line was published.
Patrick, what's your recommendation to the board?
So,
I mean, the stuff that we didn't get from Vanish, you said you tried twice already to get it from
we sent the original art, well, yes, technically, yes.
them? Well, I guess it would depend on what, if we don't get that paperwork, what kind of.
Well, that's the thing, is we don't know. There are other communities that use these guys, bigger than us. So there's that as well. There's two of our quote unquote neighbors that are referred to as cities.
I would recommend using Vanish and cheaper.
So, like I said,
not just cheaper, half the price.
It is
It's
all
gonna-
along.
if in the end, it costs us more money, that's problematic, but if it didn't, it cost us any more money last year, because we used those.
What are the other quotes? I can't open the package.
the next one would be Watson at, I don't have them handy, 14 cents. And then Stewart was
16 cents.
Thank you, 15 cents.
The Stewart is double.
Yes.
Compared to 8 cents, right? Because the other one's double,
And
and the other one is.
And part of the reason is they're a much smaller group. I mean, they're not a giant corporation. They're not massive like everyone else. And the other thing that probably doesn't help us either is when you start dealing with the bigger outfits, what we have is almost a nuisance for them to deal with.
Right.
Because they're not coming out of Rockford, they're not coming out of Rochelle, they're coming out from east typically. What we have at, we'll say 300,000 gallons is not a big job. They usually knock it out in a day and a half. So there's that too. So sometimes, hey, if you want us, then you're gonna pay this, you know. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying you see it a lot in that type of work, construction, things like that.
Mark, when we hire a contractor, isn't it on the contractor to make sure it's on the up and up of the state, not us?
If they were given this,
So what I would say is if the board's direction is to go with the Spanish quote, the risks that we're kind of discussing can be controlled for with the contract. I assume we're going to have something more than just Rick signing this 2-3 line piece of paper or whatever
Contract from who?
between us and
finish.
Okay, so we're,
right? So, I mean, that contract would presumably provide for, I haven't seen the RFP, so but whatever requirements are embedded in the RFP that we are lacking, will be to be made, attachments to the contract, or submissions that are, required prior to us signing. And if they're unable to deliver those items to village satisfaction, like any low bidder you can't agree on a contract with, and we can go to the next entity. But it sounds like the board's direction is to go with them, so I feel like these can all be controlled.
sure.
The scope of services reflecting this, we can feel it kind of.
Yep.
Cause you want the insurance information from them and all of that.
There's notification stuff they have to do.
Yeah, so
There's
we'll,
always-
yeah.
Hold on. But the second person, the next one, did they submit an entire complete board packet?
Wasn't the same.
It's not, well, they did submit the same thing as Stewart did because it's a completely different process. They don't need to submit a lot of that stuff because they're just hauling this.
So are we going to lose our savings in legal fees? Negotiating and drafting a contract for that.
Well, if we did 400,000, it would be 32,000 for 8 cents, or 64 for 60. So $32,000, and they would say, I gotta help that.
We'll do it for 31. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't strike me as complex, but some of the outstanding issue, I mean,
Well, literally, the language is already there and it was approved by
Yeah.
Dan. So literally, if you take the RFP and you put it into,
yeah, I mean, it doesn't strike me as a complex thing, but that would allow us to get some of the outstanding documentation. They'll swear that they're licensed and
under the,
insurance certificate.
And we used it last year?
we used them last year.
That's, the one that, the cheaper.
Yes, I believe that was them last year.
And so last year they were able to be in compliance with everything that we.
No, that's what he said. He said-
So they missed the-
That's why this is complicated.
It's been created.
That way, everything across the board with everybody that we submitted this to, everything was, you literally follow this to the T, and for the most part, and it covers us. So that way, it's apples to apples. Everybody's reading the same exact thing.
Think if they were licensed, then you would have to, I assume would have to be licensed to do.
And we should, yeah, they've got the only license.
You would have to apply with whatever laws were required, to put it on somebody's property.
Well, and more importantly, from my perspective, the contract will say that they'll indemnify, hold harmless, and defend us if they're not. So if they don't have the right stuff, there's some environmental liability.
That sounds good. And if they decide they can't do it, then we can go with.
Yeah, and they may look at it and say,
Yeah.
Right.
That solves the problem.
yeah, that's, like I said, that's a discussion for you, like, yeah.
No, I guess I would say, but I mean, move on.
Any further discussion? That'll be roll call.
Jen,
Yes.
William,
We officially table
Wait.
44.
Right, I think we need to specify who the contract is being authorized to.
oh, yeah, so you do have to put that in,
Will be in here.
so we're going with,
The Benish for the $8,000 for the first 100,000 gallons, 8 cents per gallon beyond 100,000.
Oh, the Benish is wastewater management, Northern Illinois, the seat, right?
Yes, that is
Okay,
correct.
so that's what the motion would be,
Yes.
motion to.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm using that, it's just what we call
So
it.
we still have a motion and a second to approve the resolution, so,
Right, but the resolution has some blanks in it.
yes. It's for my red tag this year.
I thought the resolution would, could do way definitive bidding. That wasn't what it was.
It is, but then the text of the resolution, it says we authorize in section 2A, the village president is authorized to execute the purchase from blank under the terms in exhibit blank, because we didn't know how the board would direct, so that blank should be filled in based on the discussion. It sounds like with whatever I said, wastewater management in Northern Illinois, under the terms.
Incorporated by reference by Exhibit A for Waste Management, Northern Illinois LLC.
So whoever made the initial motion, would be,
Need to amend it.
needs to amend it to reflect an award to wastewater management in Northern Illinois in accordance with their.
So I need to,
Make a motion, to amend your motion as stated by Mark.
There you go.
make a motion to amend my motion as stated by Mike. Perfect.
And then the second.
Second.
All right, so Patrick makes a motion to amend his motion to add that it's going to wastewater management of Northern Illinois according to their terms. Who did the second? Nathan seconded that, and we are still in discussion. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Jen, William,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
John, Patrick, Chris,
6:00 at 6:34.
Is all.
John. Let's cut you off anyway. All right, under unfinished business, we'll touch on A here in a moment. B, that's still with Dan. C, we had a meeting this week that I couldn't log into. I do believe Erica attended. No? All right. So that was not what I could get into, so.
Internet down?
What's that? No, I just had the spinning wheel of Teams death. It wouldn't do anything. On A, it's probably something we're going to discuss in executive session if you can sometime. It's Dan's belief that we should resend a letter to them for this agreement, this easement agreement with an offer of not $0.
I thought you had.
Well, no, we can get the easement, if they sign off on it, we can get the easement. That's his recommendation now, is that we come up with a dollar figure that we would like to, the Dan's term was not $0, that we would send to them to entertain signing that easement agreement.
Maybe we need to be re-educated on why we need the easement.
Well, go all the way back to Patrick for that one. The 1100 Illinois.
Use it to get water samples from the outside water spigot.
Why do we need that?
It's a back T site,
Bacteria.
before we pull samples for back T tests.
Can't we just put a dry hydrant on the end?
We ask the neighbor?
Well, you have to change, you can't just pick it, we have to go through the agencies and make official changes. You can't just pick and choose where you want to go. I mean, we could put something, but we've got to have stuff heated, we looked into doing sample sites. It's not just you throw it on a sample site, so.
It has to be on Illinois.
Well, it has to be in that area, yes. But then we have to heat them because we have to do them in the dead of winter, it's nonsensical. So.
No, you're drawing it from the house, you're getting it from their physical house.
Yes,
Spigot
yes.
or inside.
Outside.
Does it have to be on that street or just somebody in that area?
I would have to find, because we have certain areas and then we have to, like I said, we have to make official changes, because I'm assuming IEPA will get that.
Years been on the agenda.
So,
Let's discuss that.
yes, there would have to do a little research on how far we can ride out there. So,
That's
I'm sure you do.
all the unfinished. We have the pleasure of Greg to. Public.
Hi, my name is Greg Schwanke, 6546 North Junction Road. I'm also in the zoning board here. I would like to open discussion and dialogue about the traffic on Junction Road and the hazard that it's going to create eventually. There is no speed control out there whatsoever. I work out in my backyard. I'm there 24/7 most of the time. I can tell you every car that goes by is not doing the speed. 40. Years ago, it was 55 in a gravel road full of potholes and no houses. Nice road, you couldn't drive fast. The development came in, the road got paved, the speedway started. Last year, I believe it was, I called you or texted you last summer, coming home with a load of product on my trailer, and I've made this a habit because I know this road. The last hill coming south, the first hill coming south off of Edson. I hugged the side. I told Rick one day, I said, somebody's going to die on this road. That somebody was almost me. Guy sideswiped my truck, doing 55 miles an hour, looking at his phone, ripped the mirror off the truck. If I had not had that habit of hugging the edge of the road, I probably would not be here. He did not stop. He kept going. I texted Rick and told him, hey, Rick, remember when I said somebody was going to die out here? That was almost me. I called Ogle County just to file a report. I went back out, cleaned up all the glass and stuff and brought it home. Ogle County came out, took pictures of it. So now we have no police coming out here at all unless I call and they come and run radar. And when they come and run radar, they run it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when nobody's traveling the road. They need to be out there in the morning. How many people in here wake up with an alarm clock? How many people wake up here naturally in the morning?
Naturally.
You want to come out to my house? Because I can guarantee you from 2:30 to 3 o'clock, a vehicle or a motorcycle is going to wake you up. I measured from the edge of my house to the center of the road. It's 95 feet. 2:30 this morning. I'm going to say he was doing well over 80, and it was a Harley. Oh, I thought it shut it off. I'm sorry. So it's like, I'm retired. I don't need to get up at 2:30. So I tried to go back to sleep. And what happened at 3 o'clock? A semi. And as soon as they hit that hill, they hit the gas. I don't get any sleep in the morning. I'm usually sitting on my deck at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning drinking coffee. And the traffic has already started and it doesn't stop. It may be sporadic, but it's there. Okay, now let's add this industrial park they want to put up there. What's that going to do to the traffic on Junction Road? You got 411 acres for sale on the other side of the railroad tracks. What if a subdivision goes in there and all these people find out that Junction Road is a shortcut? Now you're going to have a bigger highway happening out there. So I just want to make you aware that something's got to be done out there. Because there are kids out there that are loading, getting on school buses now. There wasn't for a few years, but there is now. There's grandkids out there living with their grandparents getting on these buses. I've watched people pass buses with the stop sign out. They don't care. So, and it's all day long. It's all day long. Most 99% of the cars that go down that road are doing 20 or 40 or 50 miles over the posted speed limit. And there's only one 40-mile-an-hour speed limit sign right over here. Nothing the rest of the way. And one on the other end of, by High Road, and nothing the rest of the way. So I want you people, because you hired onto this job, to come up with a solution. I can't call the cops and have them come out every time I need to bitch. I don't want to bitch. I just want the road safe. I want to be able to sleep in the morning and not get woke up by a Harley or semi. And that's the problem that we have up there. So if you guys can figure out what to do, I mean, I can't keep calling Ogle County because eventually they're just going to think I'm a whack. But I'm inviting you all to come out. I'll get the donuts and the coffee, and you can sit on my porch at 3 o'clock in the morning and hear it yourself. I mean, it's terrible.
And wasn't it a year ago when you and I talked, Ogle County said that for that one, for the guy that hit you, that they wouldn't be able to do anything about it because the road's not straight.
Yeah.
And that's
so there's no center line.
We discussed that in the board meeting about possibly looking at getting.
So I did have a Ogle County sheriff, and they asked if they could use my driveway because if they get in my driveway, the car's covered by pine trees, so they can't see the cop car sitting there. And I said, come on in. I have a business out there for body shop, so whenever I take a car apart, I have to have, or take the dash out of the car, I have to have Ogle County come out and document that car. He said he would come out and sit in my driveway. I have never seen him. You know, and this was just last February. So, Rick, the striping in the road, the police officer told me, he said, there's no center stripe, so we can take somebody into the court and give them a ticket for crossing the center line. And we get in the court and the judge throws it out because there is no center.
Right. That's a bogus excuse.
Whatever happened to careless and imprudent driving?
There's a lot of things. Failure to reach.
Failures or avoid an accident.
Yeah,
There's one right there.
there are other things.
But so
It doesn't matter. We can't enforce.
The area Greg lives in
state
just.
statute.
So why it's 40 miles an hour where Greg lives? The area he lives in is as you travel north on Junction out of the village, you come to that first blind hill, and that's the area he lives in. So you have this. You literally have. It's similar to what we have down here at Autumnwood and Junction. It just becomes blind, and people they plan on it. What I was at your house for something, and people just.
They came before the village here a few years back and they asked to increase the speed limit from 40 to 55. And we said no, because if you increase it, the speed was 40, and they're already going 60. If you increase it to 55, they're gonna do 70.
Yeah. The strange, go ahead.
There's only one solution here. And my question is, would you, I don't know where you live, and I don't know if you're in the village or if you're in the town.
I'm actually in the county, but you guys are in charge of the road, so.
Sure. Well,
Some of it.
now, the only solution the village has is to form our own police department, to put our own patrol. That's the only solution we have. That's 100% the only answer we have. You can't put speed humps on here because it doesn't meet the MFT, the motor vehicle traffic code laws. You can't, there's nothing. 40 miles an hour.
We couldn't put one of those speed cameras in and do ordinance violations or anything like that.
You can't, you have to do what you.
You can't do speed cam, yes, you cannot, correct, you cannot do speed cameras. There's, I think, very limited, application was the state.
So you do know that the east side of Junction Road is in the village.
With certain parts.
You are responsible.
It bounces in and out.
No, we don't have the whole road.
No.
We don't.
I mean, some of it is the.
By agreement.
By agreement, the contract is. But not the entire road.
I know why you don't have the whole road, because houses refuse to get annexed in for the dump.
I have to make it. Sure, you're 100% correct. We don't have the whole road, but the majority of the road, I do believe, is ours. You're correct, but. Yeah. That's an emergency, whatever.
There's
Strange.
No, there's township in between. There's township with paved. We had to stop. And
You can tell.
there's like 3 different.
No, that's not why you stopped paving.
Yes, it
You
is.
stopped paving in front of the houses that didn't get annexed into the village.
That's because
There's no town. So the odd thing is, I come through here usually between 6 and 7 in the morning. And I always watch the cars that go straight, because I go down 251, go up 251. And well, most of the time I beat them. So I mean, and I know they're speeding. There's no way, hell, you don't watch them take off. You know they're speeding. And I just always mentally note what the cars ahead of me are. And probably about 95% of the time I beat them. The ones I don't beat, they gotta be flying. But it just doesn't make sense. They go that way because they think they're driving faster. And it's actually slower.
Yeah, we did the speed test between 55 and 40, and it was like 6 or 7 second difference.
Ask the sheriff to bring out his radar trailer.
It doesn't do any good. Once they see it, they just do the speed limit. Once it's gone, they're right back at it.
I understand, but you don't want.
No, I mean, I've had it out there 3 or 4 times. It doesn't do any good.
I mean, that could be a moneymaker for them at certain times of the day.
Well, that's what I told them. I said, you guys could buy a couple new squads if you just came out here and wrote speeding tickets, but they come out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when there's no traffic.
What's your worst times?
Mornings and 3 to 6, 7.
And then what's in the afternoon?
Yeah, and it varies, you know, like, we don't have Harleys going down the road every day, but, you know, at 2:30 in the morning, you don't want to wake up to a Harley going 60, 70, 80 miles an hour or whatever they're doing.
I mean, back in the day, the sheriff only had about 4 or 5 deputies patrolling the whole county. They don't sit and take radar. They're always on a call or going somewhere.
I know that. I know. And I know that's the problem, that they're understaffed, you know. Well, you guys can
We'll brainstorm it.
brainstorm.
I don't know how far we're at with it, though.
In the meantime, it's on record. I'm telling you, somebody's gonna die out there eventually. And this is not the first board for Davis Junction that I've brought this up to.
It wasn't that? I think there was. It was just north. It was north of you, that bad accident.
Yeah, the guy lost his arm. Yeah.
Wasn't somebody in the center of the road, I think?
No,
Yeah,
they
cross-
sideswiped or something.
Yeah, he came up over that hill and he was just like what happened to me, the same hill.
Definitely blind.
And that's why I hug, if I'm going north, I'm almost got my right side tires on the edge of the road because they're flying. No. That's really all I got to say is somebody's gonna die out there, something's gotta be done. And I know it's a huge problem because the county's understaffed with police, and you're not in the business of being policemen, but you are in charge of the road. See what you can do, come up with something. You wanna come out day or night, you can come out, sit on the deck and observe it yourself. That's all I got to say about that.
Since you brought up the data center, I get calls, people wanting us to take a stance on the data center. Well, they don't even, they don't even have a site plan yet, or development agreement.
Resolution opposing. That's all we can do.
What's that?
Pass a symbolic resolution opposing it.
Well-
Build it back.
And that's what the board's got, if we go that route, the board's gonna decide what they wanna do.
I would wholeheartedly think if the amount, and this will produce traffic, comes into our village that we are gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, and if the investor buys that 411 over there, you're gonna have more to deal with. They put out.
Well,
You might be getting more tax dollars, but you're also getting all the problems.
That's right, that's on the corner of White Rock and
It's right on 72.
White Rock to the,
I think so.
White Rock to the tracks.
Yeah.
So, come on.
The data center, that's a whole nother fiasco. I already had been on top of that years ago because I saw them out there surveying and I saw them doing stuff that was shady. I think I even mentioned it to you one time. What's going on up there? When you didn't know.
Oh, because Rockford.
Yeah. And I even brought it up to the Winnebago County Board Chairman a few years ago. I said, why are they doing all this out here? He said, I don't know nothing about it. I wrestled my game.
He may not. It was Rockford, not Winnebago County. That's all Rockford.
I know. And the mayor said he didn't know anything about it either.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
He got caught. Anyhow, that would be a whole nother disaster in its own. I thank you for the time. I'm sorry I get so passionate about it, but it's a problem.
As you should. As they should.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything further from board members or anybody up here?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
You were just trying to beat him, weren't you?
He put it out of the gate, didn't it?
William makes a motion to adjourn. John and Patrick both second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Adjourned at 6:53.